17-year-old Jamoltron Fair Jr. was shot and killed while more than a dozen other students watched.
Today is an incredibly difficult day and heartbreaking day for the Cherokee County School District and our entire community.
For students who witnessed the shooting of a classmate Wednesday morning, the emotional impact could stay with them for years to come.
We're asking our employees and families to watch closely for students who may need additional.
Well, hello there. Come on in, take a seat. Welcome back to School Cop Channel Podcast. I'm your host, Captain OhGee. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, and follow this channel. We have a lot of great information. So it's the new start of a new school year. Parents, kids, educators are all excited about the new start. But wait a minute, Mom. Did you just get a call from the school principal? Your third grade son threatened to go home, get a gun, come back to the school, and shoot one of his classmates because he didn't want to play with him. Darn, Mom, what are you teaching your kids at home? But honestly, this happens in every school in South Carolina and throughout the United States. Parents are not preparing their kids to behave around other kids, or they're picking up nasty behavior from their home environments or the neighborhood kids. Remember, kids are like sponges. They soak up everything they see and hear at home. That's why today we're going to talk about school behavior and discipline, along with some of the law-related issues you're going to run into. Parents and family, in case you don't know it, anytime a student makes a threat to another student, there's going to be an admin investigation, along with the guidance counselor and the school resource officer present. Remember the 6-year-old first grader who shot his teacher? The admin was warned that the child was bad and threatening, but they ignored the information teachers were giving the admin. Then boom, the child brought a gun to school, shot his teacher. Thank goodness she survived. So all threats are taken with a sense of caution. Now, let's talk about the school discipline procedures. As soon as a student gets a threat, they usually bring it to their teacher. At least that's what we teach them. Sometimes this does not happen. Sometimes kids will stay quiet about what happened until they get home. Then they tell their parents. 7 times out of 10, parents are going to get upset. They can't wait to speak to the principal to see about why they didn't or why they let this happen. Parents, before you get angry and want to call the school district, ask your child, did they tell their teacher? If they didn't go to that extent, then the school has no idea of what you or that child is angry about. But let's say the student did tell his teacher. Then the teacher is going to call the assistant principal, who will investigate what happens. She will get a statement from your child, who is the victim. Then she will see if there's any witnesses that saw or heard the threat. Once they have a clear picture about what happened, the student who made the threat will definitely receive punishment that fits the crime. His parents are notified, and usually this will be a 1 or 2 day out of school suspension. Now get this. A threat assessment will also be done to evaluate whether that student is a habitual suspect or if this is an isolated incident. Threat assessments are done by the assistant principal, a guidance counselor, and the school resource officer. They all have to sign off on the results. Let's talk about misbehavior and the different age levels. So believe it or not, discipline and school punishment is basically the same across most of the grade levels in elementary school. 4K and 5K students are slightly different due to their lack of mental comprehension. But make no mistake about it. If your 5th grade child says he's going to bring mommy or daddy's gun to school and shoot another student that he's angry at, the school admin has to follow their investigation procedures as though this is a real and serious threat. Not only that, parents, your child mentioning your mommy or daddy's gun, the assistant principal and the officer are going to question you about where your guns are kept. Who has access to these guns? Remember, a lot of young kids know where you're keeping your weapons, so this makes these investigations very touchy. When a first grader through fifth grader makes a threat of shooting someone, this is taken very seriously, and parents, the officer needs to know where your guns are. Sixth grade through eighth grade, making threats about shooting someone are a higher level of a threat. Parents, you may get a visit from the school resource officer to visually see where the weapons are in the house and where they're stored. We will also educate you about gun safety and security. A student who gets his hands on mom or dad's gun and injures or kills another student or staff member, that may cause mom or dad to share a jail cell with their now criminal child. Let's talk about the levels of school punishment. The levels of discipline from elementary to high school is basically the same. The lowest form of punishment may be a stern talking to and parent contact, or to be placed in handcuffs and arrested for the most serious crime. There also is in-school suspension, where the student is removed from his classroom and placed in a separate classroom with a suspension staff member. All of the student lessons and study material is brought to them to keep them on par with their learning. This could be for a day or several days, depending on the discipline. Out-of-school suspension can be 1 to normally 3 days. Even though they have to stay home, parents are required to get the students lessons and material from the teacher so they don't fall behind. So parents, make sure your child don't think that this is a vacation, play my video game time. Keep their butts in their books. The most severe discipline is being sent to the hearing board. This is like your child going before a judge and jury. It's made up of school board members, staff members, and designated outside staff. The hearing board decisions can allow a student to return to school and have to follow certain rules, or they can send your child to an alternative school where they may be there for 6 months up to a year. It just depends. Now, they can kick your child out of school altogether if the crime is that serious. Now, parents, you are stuck with finding a new school or homeschooling them. The worst punishment, of course, is being arrested and jailed for serious crimes on school property. These are gun violations, aggravated assaults, rapes, shootings, drug violations, certain threats to school officials, etc. These will get the SRO and judge involved in your life. Parents, it starts with you at home. Teach your young kids good behavior and how not to say certain things that's going to get them in trouble. We can tell how much a parent is teaching or training their child at home by their behavior at school. And parents, you cannot be angry at school staff if they have to call you to tell you they're suspending your child for behavior. It means you have work to do at home to adjust your child's behavior. We understand there are times kids may misbehave simply due to their immature emotional behaviors, but we take that into consideration. That's all a part of growing up. It's a part of their growth. So please, parents, take time with your child. Teach them well before they get to school. Thank you again for tuning in. Once again, these videos are for your information, and it's great information for parents, students, and educators. So once again, I'm Captain OhGee. I'm 1042. Out.